Hello, what a great week it's been. We've been so blessed to have our stories shared on national television with The Project on Channel 10. And look, we're so grateful that our story's been able to get out there, be shared. So many people finding inspiration in something we've done, which is absolutely incredible and very, very humbling. One of the things that's also stood out from that story is we've had a lot of people phoning us and asking us, well, why is it that Australian produce is ranking 20 to 50 times higher in scientific standards than overseas imported produce? So that's really led me to a question that I can't answer. My background is teaching and education. I know all about little people from when they are born through to when they are adults and how they learn. But when it comes to Australian produce and how it's ranking so highly in comparison to other parts of the world, I'm not entirely sure. So that phone call has been quite often passed over to Farmer Rob, and it's kind of brought me to a decision. Why not get Rob every week to have 5 minutes with us folk who don't understand the ins and outs of farming? So I'm down here at the factory. It's nearly 6 o'clock. Rob's not home, but I'm sure he's down here in the paddock or in the office somewhere. So let's go find him. Okay, let's have a look. Rob! Rob!
Yeah. Over here.
Whereabouts?
I'm just over here looking at these.
Okay, nearly got him. Hi, Rob.
Hey, Christy.
How are ya?
Good, good.
That's excellent. I was just having a think that I'd like to propose something. We do a
Yeah.
5 minutes with Farmer Rob
Yeah,
every week.
okay. Sounds good.
Now, what's brought me to this decision is that we've had so many phone calls. People asking, how is it that Australian produce is ranking 20 to 50 times higher? I'm in no position to answer that, but you've got a lot of farming background and experience, and I thought, well, there's our first question for Farmer Rob.
Well, Chrissy, it's a good question, and it's something that I've been delving into a lot in the last 2 years. And it is a bit of a worry. Let's put it that. Yeah, it is a worry. It is a worry because in Australia, when we look at our certifications and food manufacturing standards, we mandatorily have to follow and pass certain food manufacturing standards in this country that are very strict, very strict. And one big thing I'm a bit upset about personally is ACO will certify products, put their name on products from overseas that do not even pass food standards or have food manufacturing standards. So how could they accredit something?
It's a good question.
Well, how can they accredit something certified organic when it doesn't even have any food manufacturing requirements?
So you've put up a few really great things there that I am really curious to know just a little bit more about. So we've got produce that's being imported into Australia, which has got certification from organic bodies.
Yep.
But that produce is actually turning out to have things like what? What is so alarming in those things?
It's the handling and preparation of the green banana powders.
So how do you know that the handling and preparation isn't up to scratch? Like,
well, it's
you're getting a bag. How can you work that out?
Well, it's important that folks
We need
know.
to know.
Like, seriously, you can just do a standard hygiene test on any product you purchase. And we did that on a number of products.
All right, so you send off to the lab a hygiene, you send off a sample, they do a hygiene test, and what is it from that results that make you know that the hygiene and things like that isn't up to standard?
So you just got to, basically in a hygiene test, there's a few little things that you test. So it's a standard plate count, it's mold, it's yeast, it's coliforms. And then generally everything gets an E. coli test to see if there's any E. coli. So basically what happens is the product's put under the microscope. So they basically get the product, they put it on agar plates, they incubate that to try and fester and breed up those, if the potential bacteria and molds and pathogens inside a product. And you generally, there's a standard. So What's amazing is green bananas have to be prepared very, very strictly. You know, there's a strict protocol required. And what is alarming, people are buying product out there on the shelves that says it's certified organic, and it's organic, and it is nowhere near the nutrition of the Australian products, and it is nowhere near the food standards of the Australian product. And if that, it fails food standards drastically and miserably. And it is a disgrace that we have to go through all this. And you know, people like us that are passionate about the green banana products, that it's been a dream, and that it's allowed to be brought into this country under the fake perception that it's organic, certified organic, and it hasn't even got basic food manufacturing. Now, what we did, it's very easy. So I went and did a test, very simple test right here. So on this test, you can see, your standard plate counts, your mold and that. So we tested a Sri Lankan banana flour, which is which is for sale in all shops around Australia, in all your organic shops, and it drastically fails. And Chris, you can zoom in on that.
Yep, gotcha.
So it's absolutely pathetic, and it's not just pathetic. In hygiene, it fails food. Minimal requirements. So these guys are actually saying put it into smoothies. You would never put something into smoothies with a 600,000 plate count.
Okay, so let me just get this straight. This is an imported product which is coming into Australia.
Yes.
It's failing very basic food standards.
Yes.
It's being sold in health food stores.
Yes.
Would it be allowed on, say, the shelves of Coles and Woolies?
Coles and Woolies have a requirement, a hygiene requirement that you have to pass. Now, the biggest thing is, this is at 600,000 plate count. We're at 2,300. We hit 1,300 at times. Big difference. Mold is at 2,300.
So can I just zoom right in there?
Yep.
This is a sample of Sri Lankan banana flour, and it's got a bacterial plate count of more than 600,000. And what is that in a, like?
That's in a, what they say, a CFEU, colony forming units per square centimetre.
And then the Australian stuff is 2,300. What is like an industry standard?
Industry standard is they want to see anything for a supplement should be below 50,000.
Wow. So really, while we might go, oh, that's 2,300, that is far below what is industry expectation. And that is like, what, 50,000 into 600? That's like 12 times above.
It's terrible, Krista. And and then we come into...
I'm quite shocked.
When you buy things that are from countries that don't even respect food standards and food manufacturing, also be alarmed that you think you're buying organic and it's great and it's wonderful, but how do you know it's even organic when these guys don't even have food manufacturing? So what upsets me is they're getting certified for organic food and they don't even have basic food preparation requirements.
Okay.
So I have to go through a standard council. My local council pass me every year, make sure my hot water's at 80 degrees Celsius, make sure we're cleaning, we're in a fly-free zone.
I have actually been here for one of these cleanings and they are tense. We actually get swabbed.
Yep.
So when our international accreditation body comes out, they have swabs and they will touch, oh goodness, anything. Door handles, on the floor, up underneath things. And if that reads positive for any contamination like human contact, which hasn't been cleaned, you're a goner. You're shut down on the spot.
That's one thing, Chrissy.
That's quite interesting. So what would those people be doing to get such a high plate count?
The green bananas have been prepared outside. They've been dried in the sun in a zone where there's humidity, obviously, to have a mold count. Even in my basic preparations 5 years ago, I was nowhere near this, and I was doing it in a garage.
We're talking like hand washing is like optional.
Minimal. There's no, hand washing's optional. And this is what's upsetting for us is in Australia, we have to go through all this rigmarole to be responsible food manufacturers, to be responsible for shops, to be responsible for people. So what I want to talk about is then we go for, when you look for product, look for Australian product, but also look for their certification, their food preparation certification. So for example, we have HACCP. Other companies might have ISOs and all these food preparation protocols, which are very strict. So that means you have to follow very strict hygiene, very strict cleaning protocols, and that's all respected. So just be very mindful of this, because It is happening all across the nation in the natural food game. This is probably one example. And you know, I'm just, yeah, look, I was just chilling out here. I was just chilling
big
out
fella,
here.
I've got you pretty pumped up. I feel a little bit bad about it. Now, let's end on a good note.
Yes, yeah.
Tell us, what, I mean, I know that we found this in imported product, but I also heard on the project the other night that Natural Evolution products are testing 20 to 50 times higher than other product, but for good reasons, apart from being hygienically clean and not riddled with bacteria and stuff. Tell us some of the good things that are happening.
Some of the really good things are happening is where we've cut the green banana starch, the resistant starch product through and through, and we've discovered that 5-HTP, which is, you know, your natural forming chemical to make serotonin in the brain.
So it makes you happy.
Makes you happy, makes you
sleep
feel good.
But it also has a lot of other flow-on effects, doesn't it? With balancing your hormones.
Yeah,
and things like that.
it's a good thing, because obviously gut health is the most critical thing that we're focusing on. So now as a company, we're having direct results with our green banana resistant starch.
So it's got gut chemistry and brain chemistry.
Yeah, because the gut and the brain, we know, are connected. We're working with some of the best scientists now. And, you know, I'm just here, Chrissy, checking out all these different varieties.
Oh, cool. I know. They are looking so good. I can't wait for a bunch.
There's a couple here I really, really like.
You think they're getting close?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for a bunch.
They're looking
Have a look
close,
at
but
those.
I'm looking at the beautiful structure in the plant.
What's this one here? I think this is a Malaysian blood. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's
so
red.
it's really good. So
Stripy leaves like a tiger.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Every maybe week from now on, the guys can send in their questions and we can have 5 minutes with Farmer Rob.
Send them in, and you know, I'll definitely talk you through it all. If you want to know anything on the bananas, but not just that, and anything in general on the products, hey, fire away some great questions.
Just keep in mind we don't have a crystal ball, so we'll try our best.
Yeah, but look, it's an amazing thing. But the green banana product is just harnessing some amazing properties, and we're just, you know, we've only hit the tip of the iceberg.
All right, I think that's a wrap. Thanks, Rob. See ya. All right, guys, you heard what the big fella said. If you've got some questions, send them through. We're more than happy to answer them for you. If I can't, he will. And have a great night, and thanks for watching. See ya. Bye.